my hair.
Oh, okay. Funny Nina, funny Nina, funny. I'm trying. I'm just trying to, like, boost myself. I'm trying to get myself to not be in a certain mood.
Are you ready?
Okay. Recording, right?
Come to the panic button.
Welcome to the panic button. I am Nina.
I'm Jessie.
Today we're reacting to trans TikToks.
She's not sorry. She wants me to be mad.
I do. I want to trigger you. It is the joy of my life.
You throw like a girl. You look like a girl. You talk like a girl. Stop being such a girl. Suck it up, princess. So what did we do? We became girls. Real girl. You're still a man. Always will be. You're a man. Chromosomes don't lie. Collectively, at the Trans Agenda annual meeting, we decided, okay, so they've told us we're not men, but now we're not women. So I guess we're going to have to think of something new.
What new do you want? You're a trans woman, or what's known as a male to female, which is not new.
She said, well, we're not men, but they are men.
They are biologically men.
Yeah, so you are biologically men.
They just don't act like men.
But they don't act like women either.
Well, they can act in womanly manners, but that doesn't make them a woman.
But
like
I could act like a
you could
frog.
act feminine.
Ribbit, but it doesn't make me a frog.
You can throw a ball like this. Like, that's fine.
Is that girly? I mean, I've seen guys that throw like that too.
It's feminine. But it's not.
It doesn't. Feminine?
This is feminine. Yeah, that's feminine. But it doesn't make you not a man. And the fact that you're letting other people.
Feminine and a T-Rex.
Have you seen Meet the Robinsons? Why are you letting other people influence you? You know how many times people have told me I'm like a dude, I'm like a boy? Blossom called me a little boy. Before we move on with this video, like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, join our memberships for early releases of videos, and more content coming soon. We need your support. Love you.
On with the video.
Why don't your bratty little co-host right here get a costume and dress up like Eddie Monster? I'm sure Butch Patrick won't mind.
So, like, it never made me say, man, I'm a boy. You know why? Because I'm real comfortable with my vagina.
Because you're not easily influenced by other people.
No, and I've said this story before, and I'll say it real quick again. The first chick I had a real crush on looked at me and said, well, if you were a boy, we could do this, but you're not. And I just went, damn, if only I was a boy. And then I moved on. And now we're here.
Because she likes penis.
No, because she's Christian.
Oh.
I remember in my head, I was like, but you were just...
No, it's not... She could be gay, but she's Christian, so she needs to...
No, yeah. No. She literally said, because I'm Christian, my mom would never approve, and we can't do this. I'm like, but yesterday you were talking about making out with me.
That's when non-binary came around. Okay, so maybe if we're not men, we're not women, I guess we'll just be non-binary, right? Non-binary isn't real. Correct?
With this...
Non-binary isn't real.
What's with the dismissal of reality? I am a woman, so I have a vagina. You are a man, so therefore you have a penis. I mean, it's not rocket science.
Well, see...
It's biology, actually.
But in their world, if you deny reality, then it doesn't exist. And then people around you have to acknowledge that those things don't exist.
I can...
Or they'll make you feel bad. Sorry.
I can feel like a Puerto Rican princess. Does that make me a Puerto Rican princess?
What's your princess name?
I didn't get that far. Pick one.
Shania.
Shania Twain is my princess name.
Margaret. Ruth.
Shania Twain is my Puerto Rican princess name. Is that what you're telling me? I can deny the fact that I'm Puerto Rican till I'm blue in the face, but it doesn't change the fact that my mom was born in San Juan.
And then once you're blue in the face, you can identify as a blueberry, but it don't mean you're a blueberry.
Can't be both, just pick one. Non-binary, that's like mental illness. Okay, so we're not men.
Sorry, she said
non-binary is a mental illness.
That's like mental illness. Hun, this whole fucking thing is mental illness.
Yeah, it's called gender identity disorder.
Do you think someone who's mentally well doesn't want to look at their penis? Does that sound mentally healthy to you?
No.
Do you think that someone that's mentally well wants to lob off their tits?
Ooh, ow. No.
Does that sound mentally well?
No.
Is that someone you want making your mental health decisions?
Or what about decisions for your state? You know why they wanted to get rid of the whole, like, gender identity disorder, like trans isn't a mental illness? You want to know why they do that? So they can get into the military and the government. Because if you're mentally unwell, they won't let you in. Well, maybe they will now.
They're letting people into the army, that's for sure.
I know, and they're not supposed to. My friend literally got dishonorably discharged from the army because she was, like, depressed and had anxiety. And now you can have, like, a fucking identity disorder crisis and be in the military and be responsible for other people.
And all of us.
While you're getting shot at? I don't think that's smart. Like, no wonder people aren't signing up for the military. You have men who think they're women talking about pronouns and shit in the military, when if there's like World War III or if we get invaded, we're totally fucked. What are we gonna, like, the Chinese come in with their guns and they're like holding a weapon up to one of our soldiers and they misgender. If they misgender one of our soldiers and he has a gun to him, is he going to be like, I'm a she, sir?
That's when trans rage happens, and then they annihilate that Chinese person.
They won't be able to get close because they'll be shot and dead.
No, I'm just teasing.
Like, when there's a gun in your face, the last thing you're going to worry about is your pronouns, unless you're them.
Well, don't you know that's all that counts?
I've been fighting for our country. That is so not good.
Huh? Don't you know that's all that counts is pronouns?
I think being alive or, like, protecting our country is pretty goddamn important. I don't give a flying fuck about anyone's pronouns. I don't give a shit if you call me a potato. You can call me a piece of shit. I don't care. So it don't bother me. A gun in your face.
Just to back up real quick.
Sure.
You're telling me that if I called you a boy,
yeah,
a man every day, and I said, that's too manly, that's too this, that's too that eventually, following this train of logic, you'd become a man?
No, I think there was something wrong with the person that's saying that. I don't think
No. Following this train of logic.
Yeah.
If I call you a man and a boy every day and tell you that what you're doing is manly and boyish,
yeah,
would you not also become, based on this logic?
Mm-hmm. And I guess so, yes.
Why? Because other people have influenced you to believe that you don't... I don't understand how another person can influence you that much.
Well, you would have to be a person who never took responsibility and put the blame on everyone else. And so your decisions are never your decisions. They're actually causation from other people manipulating you. It's just a way to pass the buck because they don't like to take blame or responsibility. It's just easier to blame people because then you don't actually have to do any hard work.
Okay.
Okay, so we're not men, we're not women, and now we're not non-binary because that's not real. So at this point, I think we're at a loss. So I guess we just have to turn to you because you are the expert in this.
Accept the title of trans woman, if that's what you want to do it now. They're transition into women. That's what you're asking for. Don't call us cis. Don't demean us. Stop being a fucking idiot. And, like, don't push it on kids.
What do I want you to do? To shut up. And if you don't want to shut up, then Nina wants you to not tell me about your pronouns. How about we don't speak? You know, you go that way, I go this way. I think that's the best way. Like, could you be friends with, like, a parishioner from Fred Phelps' church? Ones that are like, guys are gonna burn in hell, fire and brimstone.
I can't imagine they'd talk to me long enough for me to even evaluate if we could have a friendship. And I can have friendships with, like, not good friendships necessarily, but, like, I can have a friendly relationship with a majority of people. Left libtards are literally telling me that they like talking to me because I'm honest. And it's really funny. But I can have a relationship with super woke. I can have a relationship with super conservative. I don't think I could have a relationship with this person. Any type of, like, friendly relationship. Yeah.
Yeah, because don't you understand that if you have any conflicts in that friendship, you're to blame.
Well, you're so up in arms about your own issues that you don't have the chance to step back and say, hang on, maybe I can listen to what they're saying.
Well, it's easy to obsess over issues when you created them. Because it sounds like this person.
What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? I want you to listen.
I want you to take up a language.
If you actually listen to the things that the writer's saying about, the transphobes are saying about you, stay away from kids. Leave it in your own space. They don't want you pushing it onto kids. They don't want you pushing it on to people who don't care to be with you. Because that's the real issue. You're pushing it on people who are single and looking for someone, which is forcing straight men and lesbians to sleep with men. Like, you're forcing things. It's a world of make-believe.
I want to interview a woman who was a lesbian who actually slept with and dated a biological man who thinks he's a woman. We need to interview a woman like that because I am so bothered by that I need to understand what would make a lesbian cross that line.
I'm convinced it's loneliness.
Easily manipulated. Maybe they learned it like from their parents when they were younger.
I think that some of them, lesbian, you said?
Yeah.
A lesbian that slept with a trans woman?
Yeah.
I think they just wanted to figure out what it was like to be with a man, and that was the closest they could get without saying that they were straight or bi.
But if they're a lesbian and they're in their 30s and they've been a lesbian since they were like 13, and then they sleep with a trans woman, baby, I don't think you were ever a lesbian. I think you were a
bi-curious motherfucker.
A transbian?
No, it would be a bi-curious person.
Maybe be bisexual. Yeah.
Bi-curious, because if you're identifying as a lesbian, you've only been with women.
Yeah.
And then you sleep with a trans woman. You've always wanted to know what it was like to sleep with a man.
That would be like a straight woman dating a guy and then finding out he fucked a bunch of dudes. Dated guys.
Is it? I don't think it's the same, because I'd rather have a promiscuous partner than a partner with wrong genitals. Does that make sense? Like, I would rather have a slut for a wife than marry someone with a penis.
You're just transphobic then.
No, I just love sluts.
What does having a penis have to do with anything? Aren't you falling in love with the woman?
I like tacos. I don't like hot dogs. Lesbian. Extreme!
Well, that's not being very open-minded, though.
That's cool. You can open your mind and open your legs. I'm not opening mine.
I don't have a good argument for them.
Now I got good comebacks, too. So.
Yeah, you do. You do.
Holding on to all the lies. Not to be, like, overly dramatic or anything, can we just start stepping transphobes at this point? Like, we have such a big problem of transphobic people being f***ing idiots and not getting their kicked in. Can we just start kicking their shit in? It would be so much easier for everyone. The entire world would be so much better if we could just stab a transphobe.
Does that mean that I get to slap you and I get to punch you right in the fucking face? Does that mean I get to do all that but to you? Because in my head, your ideology is wrong. So therefore, you're a fucking idiot. And I should be entitled to do that too. Except I'm not someone who's physically violent. I'm never going to hit someone in the face. And we were just talking about this.
I know.
We were just talking about this. Most women will cry.
Yeah.
Not threaten.
I just cried. It wasn't fun.
We literally just talked about this.
I know.
And
most women
hypothesize this is why there's more men in prison than women.
Yeah.
Because most men react more physically, and most women react more emotionally.
Mm-hmm. We cry, men get violent.
That's why we get out of tickets, because even if we don't want to be crying in front of the cop,
usually that's what happens.
Overwhelming stress, just feeling overwhelmed in the moment, will lead to women crying.
Yeah, because once a month, like 2 weeks out of the month, our hormones are going freaking crazy. We got the premenstrual, then we got the menstrual, and then we got the postmenstrual. So we got all these hormones going on. We don't know left from right sometimes. Like, why am I crying over a Bounty commercial? But we do. It's very frustrating.
They spilled something on the pup. I put a spill.
No. Okay, he was eating barbecue ribs, and this standard white poodle came over, and he was so happy, and he wiggled his tail, and he wanted just love. And the guy's like, my hands are dirty. I'm too fucking lazy to get up and wipe them or wash them in the sink, so I'm just gonna wipe them on this beautiful white poodle. And I was so offended for the poodle, and I was so angry at the man. Like, he just wanted love, and you're just using that poodle, and the poodle isn't, he's a dog, so he just thinks he's getting love.
None the wiser.
Oh, and really, he's just being used and abused. I'm still postmenstrual. So I'm still in that frame of mind, but
she's not crying. You're
crying.
crying.
I'm crying right now, so
you're
that's
crying.
Transphobe. Say something transphobic, you get stabbed. The world would be beautiful.
The world would be beautiful. Blood-stained.
You're going to hell.
The beautiful blood-stained earth that we live on. Okay, if you stab
I don't want to know anything about who they're going to...
hang on. Listen to this, ready? If you kill all the transphobes,
Yeah.
then you kill all the straight people.
Yes.
Then you kill everyone who's not on hormones.
Wait. We're gay. We're gay.
Then you kill anyone who's not on hormones.
Okay.
How would you reproduce?
You don't.
Because you're on hormones. You can't reproduce. So if you kill all the transphobes, you annihilate the human race. You're asking for a complete and utter wipeout of people.
Well, I don't think these people really think when they speak. I think it's just emotions record.
Because if they sat for 2 seconds, they're like, okay, transphobe equals straight person, right? That's their thoughts, usually. Straight, cis people, transphobe. Okay, let's kill them. But if we kill them and we're all on fucking estrogen and fucking testosterone and can't reproduce, how the fuck are you going to continue your little trans race?
They'd have to date each other.
But they can't reproduce. If you're on the hormones.
Well, wouldn't that be the real trans genocide?
Except they're causing it.
Well, then it's your own fault.
Yeah.
Then it's the eradication of your own
Like,
race.
I just don't understand how far you're thinking about this kind of thing.
They don't. They go,
Record. I want to stab that person. That's what I heard.
it's such a man thing to do.
That's what that said.
Let's just kill them all. It's like, sir, you're not making a very good argument for yourself. But continue on, because you're making us look great.
Maybe don't leave that in.
They're for queers for Palestine. Move to Gaza.
See how that goes.
Move to Gaza. Please, sir, go help them. They need your help. I mean, ma'am, whatever. Go over there.
Please, individual.
Tell them you're there to help. They want to show you the sunroof.
Light yourself
Take
back
you to
on
a
fire,
tall building. You could do that. I don't know. Oh, my Lord. Okay, so that was the end of that video.
We in the trans community need you to stop using bioessentialist language. What is bioessentialist language? Well, that's when you use terms like male or female anatomy to refer to your downstairs parts.
Shouldn't that language be called the truth? Why do obvious facts need a label? Why label obvious facts as something negative? Facts about, let's say, biology are not positive or negative. They're just facts.
When you do this, you're playing into a false narrative that bodies have one of two biological sexes. This is not a scientific fact, but instead a myth disproved by the existence of intersex people.
Are you for real right now?
That was a whole bunch of bullshit.
Are you for real right now? Everyone and their brother understands that, unfortunately, it's what we call a genetic mutation or sometimes a genetic defect. And that can cause someone to have an enlarged clitoris or a micro penis. But that does not make them any fucking thing different. They still have XY or XX chromosomes.
Listen, we cannot have this bioessentialist language. It is very offensive.
Take this language and use it to exclude us from gendered spaces.
Crazy?
I like transphobes. You know what? Those bitches are based as fuck. Anytime they mention transphobe, I'm thinking it's a cool person now who knows reality.
And can stand up for themselves?
Yeah.
It's ironic to me that you want us to change our language completely to fit the narrative that things aren't real. It's actually insane. Because if you're going to tell me that you're getting a period but it's a penis, how? You know what a penis... You know bongs, okay? Bongs have pieces that go in, and the one that sticks out, that goes into something, is called a male attachment. And the part that receives it, the thing that it goes into, is called the female attachment. Are you going to say that bongs are now transphobic?
Yes.
What do you then call types of pieces like that? Because for a plug outlet, the plug outlet is the female receiver. A plug is the male attachment.
Well, why don't we just call the female attachment the non-male attachment? And the male is the non-female. I don't know. I don't live in crazy land. I live in reality.
It's not as hard as people are making it out to be. The male attachment goes in. The female attachment has things going. Like, it's open to have things going. That is all it means. It doesn't have to mean that you don't wear dresses. It doesn't have to mean anything fancy. It just means, sexually speaking, my part goes into something. Sexually speaking, my part receives something.
No, it means genital preference.
That's not genital preference. That is so not genital preference.
It's bigotry.
There's no preference in what your anatomy can and cannot perform.
The biology is transphobic.
I can stick a Q-tip in someone's penis, but that does not make it a vagina.
Well, what if to them it's a vagina?
It's not.
But what if to them it is?
Then they're fucking psychotic because they're wrong.
It's like having a conversation.
I've heard psychotic men call their penis a little clit.
Ew! Why? Why did you have to go there? Why did that have to hit my ears?
Because imagine seeing this. And
No!
like,
I don't want
touch my clit.
No!
Touch my clit.
Get out of here, yeah?
That's just going to get it harder. Touch my clit.
What does that even mean? Facts are not transphobic. I am so tired of this term. I mean, does it even mean anything? Maybe transphobic means that you are telling the truth. So maybe it's actually a positive.
Real quick, transphobic just means you're not gonna bow down to what other people say. Transphobic just means you acknowledge biological reality over someone's mental health issues.
Let's give a round of applause to the transphobes out there, everybody! Yay! Good for you for being fucking based in reality.
I'm sure that there are some people out there who are like they were against the gays, where they just are mad about it. And that...
I don't think so.
I'm sure there are some out there like that.
I think it's like 1%,
but I think
maybe.
the majority are just normal people who are like, listen, if you want to be called Daphne, I'll call you Daphne, but it doesn't change the fact that Daphne has a penis. Like, you know what I mean?
Right. And what they do is they'll take someone who is reasonable and make them the enemy. So what they're doing is they are taking someone who would be an ally, which is a lot of people, and turning them into the enemy, which means that now you don't have like 20% of the population for you guys. Now you've alienated yourself to only like 1% of the population is for you guys, and everyone else just thinks you're fucking nuts and doesn't want to get canceled or fired by speaking up.
My bigger thing is you're demanding we accept whatever you say is the truth. It does not change the fact that when I see you, my brain goes, man. So if I say, he said this, don't you dare fucking get mad at me when you look like that and have 5 o'clock shadow and have a Party City fucking wig on. No.
Well, according to them, you have to respect the way they see themselves.
Why?
But...
Why? Because they don't respect the fact that I see myself as a lesbian, and that to me means pussy.
And that's the issue right there. Is that they're demanding respect,
but they won't give respect.
There you go. And that is what 3-year-olds do.
Not even 3-year-olds. I babysat in the past. 3-year-olds are still more respectful. They'll be like, can I get another glass of water? And I'm like, no, you had one. And they're like, oh. And then they go back to
Well,
bed.
and it's better than saying that's what criminals do, because that's what criminals do.
They're just trying to change a narrative so that we believe. But the thing is, it is something that is misleading, mistrusting, and tells you to deny everything that you know is true.
Right.
And that is something that gaslighters use. Maybe not criminals, but people who gaslight people use. And if you're going to demand respect but not give respect, then you're reminding me of my fucking dad and everyone else's shitty parents. This is why you don't have kids, because they kill you.
Well, criminals... they do the gaslighting thing. That's why they usually say they're not guilty.
Making me have to puff in the fucking corner over here.
I didn't do nothing.
It's not you.
I
You
made
found
no
the videos.
Yeah, I did, yes.
You do instead? You can always say, this is what a cis female body looks like, or a cis male body looks like. It's a little extra work, but it's worth it to protect the already vulnerable trans community.
Protect.
The
language to protect, meaning don't hurt the feelings of. I love when they use this language that is extreme. You know, all of a sudden it's not hurting feelings, it's protecting them. It's no longer making them cry or doubt themselves. It's genocide. You know, it's so extreme, it's laughable. It's a 90s comedy. It's gone so over the edge that they're off the cliff and down in the basin.
We don't need a term like cis. It's not that I don't understand it. It's not that I don't get the point. I understand it and I get the point. Unless you're teaching a class about transgenderism,
Baby,
there's no reason to differentiate cis from not. Am I wrong?
Do you know where the word cis came from?
Yeah, it's a disgusting fucking term from the
From
people
a
that were
pedophile.
researching this. So cis,
Gender ideology came from pedophiles.
cis is a Latin origin. It was used specifically in that context, and that's where it's based off of. This
Money.
This concept of what cis means, because cis in Latin, I think it means on the same side as.
On the same side as what?
That's the Latin. That's how Latin works. The word cis would mean on the same side as. But we've contextualized it to mean born as what they have. Like, what they have is what they are. That's what cis means.
For me, cis makes just as much sense as queer does. Not a goddamn bit. I know, and it still doesn't make any fucking sense because up is down and down is an up.
You can be a lesbian and be cis. You can be a gay man and be cis. Mm-hmm. Cis means you want your penis or you want your vagina. Anything that's not cis is trans.
Anytime I've heard the word cis, it's always been in a negative connotation. So
yeah, that's how they use it. But cis.
So I'm just assuming that cis means asshole.
Cis means not trans. That's what cis means.
But they're not using it as not trans. They're using it as asshole.
But that's what it means. Yeah, because anyone who's not queer to them is a fucking asshole. But like, you can be a cis man who fucks men.
Okay.
We're cis women.
Yeah.
And lesbians. Yes.
Yes.
So cis means
asshole.
Not trans.
But does it mean not queer?
No, queer doesn't have anything to do with it.
See, queer should have never even gotten into the acronym to begin with, because queer started out just like fag did. Queer is the same thing as fag.
Queer, from what I've always understood, is like questioning almost. Like, I'm like in between.
When did that start? Because I never knew anything about queer being a questioning thing. I thought questioning was fucking bisexual. Bi means I like a little bit of both.
No,
questioning means what? I either like to have sex with people or I don't? I'm asexual? No. What are you?
Questioning, I mean...
Take a lane, Grandma!
Questioning means that you're like, when we were in like middle school and we were like, oh, maybe we should date a guy. That's questioning.
That's bi.
That's questioning.
That's bi.
I don't think you're old enough to make the decision. Questioning. In middle school?
You're not old enough to make what decision?
Of the sexuality for the rest of your life? I mean, I knew that I was...
That's not queer, though.
It's questioning.
That's bi.
Did you know you were bi? When you were bi?
When I was younger, I said I was bi.
I mean, yes, we cannot go based off of how we felt, because I called myself bi also, but that was before all this craziness. Imagine that we lived... Wait. Imagine that we lived with this craziness going on.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't we have probably been under a different title than bisexual, pansexual, everything? Questioning would be, I don't know what I am yet. I'm figuring it out.
No, queer is like faggot. Bisexual is questioning. We didn't have questioning in our acronym. We had bi, gay, lesbian.
I can understand questioning more than I can understand the use of cis. Because cis...
It's questioning to me sounds like, because we have bi, I like both. Right?
Okay.
Questioning would be I either like both, like one, or I don't like to fuck at all.
No one identifies as questioning their whole life. They identify as questioning for like a couple months to a year usually to figure out.
Okay, so stay away from don't date anyone who's in the Q category because they don't know what the fuck they want.
Yeah, questioning is like the girls who go off to college.
So it's just a whole bunch of straight young bitches?
I would say it's like 85% straight women trying to figure out if they want to fuck chicks, and then maybe 15% are girls that felt like they were into guys but realized they're probably more gay than anything.
Then that's what we used to call bisexual. Until these
Why are you so hard against the questioning thing?
Because the people who use the word queer are people I can't fucking...
I'm not talking about queer.
Stand.
I'm talking about questioning.
The Q is for queer or questioning. Which is it? Because I've heard
think it's both.
You can't have both. You can't have both.
You're getting hung up on something else here. I'm asking why you're so against questioning. What's wrong with that?
Because what are you questioning? If you like men or women?
When I was identifying as bisexual, yes, I was questioning whether or not I liked men or women.
Okay. So you didn't know you liked both?
I knew that I felt like I had to like men, but I liked women.
That's not questioning, baby.
But it was at that point in my life.
You thought that was questioning.
It was questioning. I was questioning my sexuality.
But baby, you already knew it.
No, I didn't, or else I wouldn't have kissed so many dudes.
That's manipulation.
That's not manipulation. That's believing in traditional things. So you try to execute traditional things, and then through questioning why I'm doing this, you realize I'm a lesbian. And then questioning's no longer what you label as. You label as a lesbian. Yes, I called myself bisexual, but in the same context, questioning would have been more fitting than bisexual because I wasn't sexually attracted to men.
So why were you questioning being sexual with men?
Because I was in middle school and high school. I was questioning everything about sex.
So is every child a Q then?
You know what? Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily put that label on every single child, but I mean, there's obviously, like, you knew you were
That's
attracted.
why that acronym, that's why the Q exists.
I'm not trying to push the label onto anyone, though. So I'm not saying every child is questioning. I'm saying that if you are gay at one point or another, you are questioning.
Doesn't that mean that every child is questioning?
I don't think so.
Does every child know they're straight or gay?
I don't know. I'm not every child.
Then they're probably all Qs then. Which means that, like,
No, I think-
everybody is in our acronym at one point or another.
Yes, I mean, yes.
And
But based
I
on your logic,
am against that because I don't want someone who's a Q.
well, then get out of the acronym. Just be an L.
I don't want to be in the acronym. I say get rid of the fucking acronym.
Then call yourself sapphic and get yourself out of that shit. S isn't a thing.
That's not a bad idea. Fuck the L's, fuck the G's, fuck the B's, fuck the T's, fuck them all. We're S's. We're sapphics. Take the lesbian title. I don't give a shit anymore. Anyone who says that they're a lesbian now is pretty much questioning. Bisexual? I don't know. We're sapphic.
We'll go to the island of Lesbos.
Lebanese.
Biology and reality in general.
Anybody who tells me that I'm a biological female is going to get blocked.
Honey, you can block as many people as you want, but you will always be a female.
Not only because that's a transphobic thing to say to me, but also because they're wrong.
Again, it's almost like being transphobic is a positive thing. I want to make merch so bad that says proud transphobe. But I think many of you are too scared to buy it. And I get it, but it could be quite fun though. Us transphobes over here are not wrong. It is very obvious that you're a female. And I know you're not used to hearing this, but it's okay. There's nothing wrong with being a female.
Biological sex is a scam, and even if it weren't, my T levels, not female.
Ooh, great argument. You know what? I like this logic. I think I'm gonna identify.
I'm sorry. Do you think that when we were running around hunting and gathering, that your testosterone levels made you not have a baby? Do you think that when we were more masculine that we didn't have babies? How did we get here? How did we get here? Are you fertile? That's what I'm asking. Because if you're not fertile, then it has much more to do with your reproductive system than just the fact that you have a pussy.
The education system is failing tremendously.
My testosterone is probably higher than fucking average. Guess what? Just gay.
As a millionaire now. I might not have millions of dollars in my bank account, but that's just a false definition of a millionaire. The fact is, I do have some money in my bank account, so that means I'm a millionaire. You might have a lot more testosterone in your blood than other women, but your body is still female. Do you know why? You still cannot produce the opposite sex gamete.
Biological sex is a fact. It's a reality, but so too is gender identity.
I have never as a trans person used the term gender identity. To say I identify as actually means I pretend to be. The reason why people say I identify as is because they know you know they're actually not said thing. Because if they...
You know, actors, I bet anytime they're doing a new role, they are identifying as that character. Identifying is just a word for pretend. I pretend I identify. Because identifying, there's no slot for it. There's no prerequisites for identifying. It's just, you can.
Well, identifying represents...
How you see yourself.
In this context, identifying shows I want to be.
Yeah.
I want to be this. Whereas identifying in a scientific term means saying this is a box, inside it are tissues. That's
Right.
what scientific identifying means. What this identification means is I feel so passionately about dinosaurs, therefore I am a dinosaur. No, you like that. You want that. But it does not make you that.
If a trans woman comes up to us and says, I identify as a woman, then we have the right to say, I identify you as a man. You can identify yourself whatever you want to be, but you can't force someone else to identify you as something that they do not see. You're telling people, you're forcing people to play pretend. You're forcing people, and the fact that they might make laws about this, which I think is just absolutely
bonkers,
to say the least.
Trying to help you out here. Well, they're going to try and make laws, right? And those laws are going to confuse everyone. So right now we're in a place where if you identify as trans, you are able to get hormones like estrogen. But there are women who are going through horrible things, medically speaking, especially things like menopause, and to put it lightly, not to mention I'm sure people with PCOS and other symptoms, they can't get estrogen. There are people right now with breast cancer who are crying because they have to chop off their breasts. And you're celebrating, and you're making laws that make it so these people who don't need the estrogen get the estrogen, while biological women who do need estrogen so that they can be comfortable or even get through their fucking day, they can't get it.
But don't you understand that trans women in prison need it more?
This is my point. If you're going to make laws, acknowledge the people who are acknowledging reality before you go off and you try and, what? It's not even curing crazy.
Nope.
It's not even curing crazy. It is instead
giving an excuse to crazy.
Mutilating these poor, mentally ill people because they have been convinced by social media and peers that it's what they need.
Not all of them, though. A lot of them fucking use it. They use the loophole. I can't tell you how many...
Good. I would fucking use the loophole.
How many men who are in prison conveniently transitioned? But name me one female who conveniently transitioned while they were in prison to be a man.
If I needed medication...
There's none.
If I needed medication at all, any medication, I would transition. Because my bill would be paid for because done. Like, come on, don't be stupid.
Are real. Biological sex and gender identity are different, but they're equally valid.
No, they're not. No, they're not. Can your emotions produce a fucking life? Can your fucking hormone-infused blood, can you create a brand new life? They're not equally valid.
Is that like saying the theory of creation is the same thing as evolution?
No, it's not the same. If we're talking about math...
It's very confusing.
And science. If we're talking about math and science, they are not equal. Gender identity and biological sex are not equal because biological sex can result in a physical manifestation of things. Gender identity is all in your head. Mathematically speaking, there is a result of biological sex. There is no result to transgenderism.
So like the flat earthers. There's no scientific fact that the earth is flat.
I don't know if flat earth is the same. My point is that you get something produced in biological sex. Gender identity, in its purest stance, means that you, if you identify as a man, and you're with someone who identifies as a woman, let's say that you are identifying as a man and she is a biological woman, you cannot reproduce. There's no equals.
So why is he saying that gender identity is valid?
He's trying to convince you with his words that they are. But the theory in itself is wrong because you can't say two things are equal when one equation has an equal sign and the other one doesn't. There's a result.
Hold on. They're bitching about gender stereotypes and using those gender stereotypes on themselves in order for people to see them gender stereotypically, but at the same time are going to bitch at people who see them based on gender stereotypes, see them as something that they don't think they are.
I don't know if I followed.
I know, I'm trying to think of how to say this. Okay. So I'm a woman, and I don't like gender stereotypes. Like blue should be girl and boys, not just boys, right? Now I think I'm a man. So I'm going to use those gender stereotypes I bitched about in order to make myself look like a man.
Yes, that's
right?
exactly what every
So
transgender
now I'm going to
person
walk
has done.
around looking like a man, but I obviously look like a woman, right? So someone's going to misgender me and call me a woman, and I'm going to get mad because they didn't see my gender stereotypes. They saw the gender stereotypes that they saw, which is I have long hair and I'm a woman. My gender stereotypes that I'm a man is that I'm wearing man's clothes, right?
And that you date women, and that, yeah.
Right.
You can have a lot of reasons to believe that you're a man.
Based on those gender stereotypes.
You could,
But you
yes.
can't get mad at the same person for using gender stereotypes to identify that you're a woman.
Right. So we had gotten to a point where gendered stereotypes we literally didn't care if a man wore a dress. As long as you said it was a man. If you're a man and you're like, I'm a man and I'm in a dress.
There you go.
Aces. No one cared.
No.
No one cared.
No.
We got to that point, and now we have actually backed up to a
Regressed.
point where we are at the point where we're like, man in dress? No, woman. Woman!
So we're going to cut this video here. Let us know what you guys thought. Comment below. Like the video. Subscribe. Join
If you
our
got
memberships.
this far, comment a heart, and I'll send you a heart back.
Yeah, if you actually finished the video, comment a heart below so
I'll heart you back every time.
we know who the hardcore fans are.
I will literally get on there, and I will heart everyone back.
She will heart everyone.
Everyone.
And have a lovely, lovely day.